Hello students, today we'll be discussing about exception handling. It is part 2 in the module 3. So in the part 1 we have learnt about string operations and string programming. The second part of module 3 is exception handling. Right. Before learning about exception handling, what is an exception and how do you handle exceptions in the program, we'll be just checking what are the different types of errors which usually occur in the programming languages. So there are two categories of the errors very familiar to you. One is syntax errors and one is runtime errors. So regardless of any programming language, there are majorly two categories of errors. One is syntax errors and one is runtime errors. So what is syntax error? I'm not obeying the rules of the programming language, which will lead to the syntax errors. So your compiler will detect your syntax errors. If you're not following the rules of the program, obviously your syntax errors are thrown. Now what is the runtime error? Runtime error occurs when the program is running. That is, the environment detects an operation that is impossible to carry out. So whenever you are encountering an error at the runtime, that is called as a runtime error. Right? We'll be seeing an example for that. Right. Now see, I have written normal program. This program reads two variables x and y. The program reads two variables x and y. That is, you are giving the value of your x as well as y from the keyboard, and you are performing an operation called z is equal to x by y. Now suppose consider that I am removing, we will see once the program, I'll be explaining once the program. There is a class exception example and this is your main. The execution begins from the main. You are declaring three variables called as x, y, z. You are using your scanner class. Why do you use your scanner class? I'm defining an object of your scanner class such that I can give the input from the keyboard. So this s is an instance of your scanner class, and after that x is equal to next int. I want to give an integer value of your x, so I am writing s dot next int. Similarly, I want to read the value of your y from the keyboard, so I am writing y is equal to s dot next int. So these two statements will enable you to enter the value of x comma y from the keyboard. Now I am performing an operation called z is equal to x by y. Say my x value is 4 and my y value is 2, 4 by 2, z value should be 2. Now I am printing the value of your z. So if my x value is 4 and my y value is 2, 4 by 2, the result should be 2. This is a simple program, right? Now consider that I am removing this s. S you can observe that it is a capital. I'll be removing s and I'll make it as a small. Now what you can see here, you can see one red mark here clearly stating that your S clearly stating that scanner cannot be a result to a type. Scanner cannot be result to a type. So this is your syntax error. So your compiler, you cannot execute the program. You are getting the compile time error itself because you're not following the language rules. So my S is actually a capital. Your S is basically the capital S. Now you can see that there is no error in the program. This yellow is just a warning, right? Now similarly, anywhere if you take, suppose consider that I am removing my z here. What is happening here? Wherever you have used your z, you didn't declare the z value. You didn't declare what is your variable called z, but you are trying to use this z. So this is another example of your syntax errors. So where are they raised? They are raised by your compiler, right? At compile time itself, because you are not following the rules of the programming language, you're not following the rules of the programming language, your compiler will detect this sort of errors, which are called as syntax errors. Now, coming to the next one, what is your, now we will rectify this one. I am defining Z here. Now, the next type of error which we have seen is runtime error. Now, what is runtime error? Now, this program is ready to execute. There are no syntax errors. So what you can do, I can just run this program. I can run this program, and what is the output of this program? It is clearly asking you to enter the value of your x. So you'll be I'll be entering the value of your x is 4. Next, it is asking me to enter the value of 4 to y. I'm entering the value of y is 2. The value of z is 2. Right. So this is properly compiled as well as executed. Now, for example, for the next run, again it is asking the value of your x. So I'll be giving the x value as 4 as usual. Now coming to the y value, I'm giving the value of your y as 0. Now what is the operation performed? Earlier it was 4 by 2, so the result is 2. Now the operation which is performed is 4 by 0. What is 4 by 0? What is 4 by 0? Divided by 0. So divided by 0 is actually an infinity, right? It is undefined. So now what should happen? What will happen to the system? Now check. What will be the z value? You know that it is an undefined one. So now check here. Now you got an error stating that exception in thread main java.lang.arithmetic exception divide by 0 / by 0 error. So you got some description about this error. Now this is your runtime error. See, as far as your compiler is considered, there are no syntactical errors in this program. When you are executing, for the first set of values like 4, 2, your program executed properly. But for the second set of the values, I am giving the value of your x as 4 and the y value is 0, then it is obviously, it is raising a divide by 0 error. This is runtime error. When your program is running, you got the error. So this is called as your runtime error. Now, just observe here, you got some message regarding this particular divide by 0, right? This is an exception which is handled by your Java virtual machine by default. So we will learn about those exceptions now. So by this, you can understand that your exception is a runtime error. Now what is happening here? Suppose consider that this particular error has occurred in the program. Remember, it is an exception. What is happening? Is the next part of the code executed? That like the value of z, some value, is your z value printed or is the statement executed? No. So consider that I'm having some 10 set of statements. After this, those statements also won't be executed. So what is happening? The normal flow of this particular program is disturbed because of your runtime error or an abnormal condition raised by the program. Now this is called as your exception. So what is an exception? Exception is a runtime error. So what will happen if an exception arises in the program? It will lead to abnormal execution of the program. This is an abnormal condition. So it will disturb the normal flow of the program. Say I'm having some 10 statements here, though you write 10 statements, see if at all there is no exception, the statements are executed. For the first run, when you gave 4 by 2, you got the output as 2. The statements are executed. But say that I am giving the value of your y is 0, then it raised directly an exception and the further part of the program will not be executed. So this is called as your exception, right? So we have seen what are the types of the errors. One is syntax errors, because your program is not obeying the syntactical rules of the programming language, you generally get the syntax errors. How they are detected? They are detected by the compiler. Now what is the runtime error? Like your divide by 0. When you are executing the program, this particular error has been raised. So this is called as your runtime error. Now we'll go to the exception handling in Java. And what is an exception? Now you can see exception is an abnormal condition that arises at the runtime. Z is equal to x by y. X by y was 4 by 0. This is an abnormal condition. What it has done? It is disrupting the complete normal flow of the program. So this is when an exception occurs in the program, it disrupts the normal flow. So now why are you going for exception handling? Now this should be handled properly. So you need to write a program to handle such type of errors. That is your exception handling. So why are you writing this exception handling program? If at all any abnormal condition arises in the program, you need to handle that program properly such that the normal flow is retained back. The normal flow of the application is retained. So you are writing